It's the final countdown. Ba-da-da-da. We got one more game left, and then it's over. I got a new monitor here, and I don't know if it has a screen thing over it. I'm still trying to fucking figure it out. I actually literally had to run to Best Buy to get a monitor because my big monitor crapped out. Of course, Best Buy doesn't have any freaking monitors available. So I had to find the biggest. I got the biggest one they had, and like the Giants, I probably screwed it up. But I wish everyone a happy holiday. Happy New Year's. Phone to turn off. What? You can come over and look. No, you can't because then you can't see the Loving You Mrs. Online Big Blue is looking at the monitor. It goes up, it goes down, it goes sideways, but it's not curved. But I got it on sale. It was hold. Everyone just mute yourself. 32. Hold on. She said, how big is it?
That's what she said.
Well, actually, that was what she said. We're going to talk about the New York Football Giants here. I got to figure. I'm not a big fan of this monitor already because it doesn't curve. And it looks warped. We got to go. Well, we can't really fire Shane bringing in a real NFL staff and let them just figure out how to tear down the roster. Actually, rebuild the right way. This roster has some talent. Some. That's a great way to put it. This roster has some talent. We broke through it yesterday, and we went through the 22 starters, and we determined that maybe 2, maybe 3 could potentially start on a playoff team, on a top 5 playoff team, and that's if you count Andrew Thomas, who's still injured. But the thing is this, like the thumbnail, it literally is it's trying to turn the Titanic. And the question is, everyone knows, and it was funny though, because I know someone who wasn't in the Navy. They were an admiral in the Navy. They are officially now been retired. And I love it because I asked him, I said, how easy is it to turn a battleship? And he's like, Tim, you see these things and everyone thinks you have this huge thing and it's easy. Let's make the battleship in the back. There we go. We get the battleship in the back. How easy is it to turn the battleship? And he even said the same thing. It takes a slow, arduous process to get that fucker to turn. And we have been going through this slow, arduous process for how many years now? Can we examine how many years we've been going through this? How many years that we've been through this desert? And how many rebuilds we are within the rebuild within the rebuild? I think I'm going to I love that thumbnail. I'm going to put the thumbnail in the back because it really does remind me. This is where we're at as a fan base. This is where we're at as an organization. We are waiting for the rebuild of the rebuild of the rebuild. Mr. Massey with the Super Chat. All Super Chats go to the Philadelphia Children's Hospital. Stafford was comically bad. Impressions on how teams out of the playoffs will win. Can you rank the current 14 playoff teams? I can rank the current 14 playoff teams, but I want to talk about the Giants first. But if you really want me to rank, the current football, because you gave to the kids. Let me get all the NFL playoff teams. Hold on, and I will rank the NFL playoff teams. Hold on, only because you gave a super chat to the kids that I have to do this. And like I said, right now though, we are not locked in yet completely. But if I'm ranking the playoff teams by division, I'm going, and these are not in the order that they are in, because if we did that, we would have to go to the Mighty FanDuel. Again, I keep forgetting to tell you this show is brought to you, of course, by the Mighty FanDuel. That's FanDuel.com, number one sports book in America. I would go Chicago. I would then go Seattle. I would go Philadelphia. I would go San Francisco. I would go Green Bay, Rams, then the Panthers. If I'm ranking the AFC, I would probably still stick at Denver 1, New England 2. I probably would stay at Jacksonville at 3. I'd probably put Houston at 4. I'd put Pittsburgh. I'd put the Chargers at 5. I'd put Pittsburgh at 6. And yeah, it's funny. I'm still leaving Buffalo at 7. And there's nothing against White Vic. It's just the fact that if we take a look at the way Buffalo's been playing a little bit, it's not too stellar. But we're going to do that. But we want to talk about turning the ship. Wyatt says the Fraud Boys announced their starters aren't playing the whole game against Giants. They're going to try and lose. Meanwhile, the Giant players are going to have their hardest to win this garbage game. I mean, there's really not much. We're not playing for anything. We're not playing for pride. We're not playing for standing. You're playing for a draft choice. And I love it because I've said it all this a million times before. The problem with playing with the draft choice is Giants could finish as high as 3, high as 1 with the 30% chances. And the thing is this, when you are this team playing for nothing but pride cometh before the fall. And that's what we need to think about. I'm not saying you tank, even though the Raiders did tank. As the Raiders did tank. They're having a tankathon while the Giants were celebrating a 24-point win, which they have seasons. The last time they had a 24-point win was against a bad Indianapolis team coached by Jeff Saturday, who was literally a coach for a minute and a half, who literally, unlike Justin Pugh, Jeff Saturday did come off the couch. Even with the Cowboys not playing their guys, their guys. Let's go to the Mighty FanDuel. That's mightyfanduel.com, number one sports book in America. New customers bet $5, get $250 in bonus bets. The Mighty FanDuel Sportsbooks tells us, because we always have that app readily available, we go over to the NFL. Giants were 5.5 point home dogs against the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys just came out recently, and I'm checking the line. They are now 4.5 point home dogs against the Dallas Cowboys. I'd probably take the Giants in the points if it was me. There's Tennessee versus Illinois tonight, which is 2.5 hours. There's a good parlay going on here. You go Tennessee minus 2.5 on the spread. Illinois first quarter winner 3-way. Tennessee fourth quarter winner 3-way. Illinois 400 yards. Illinois total yards. Tennessee 400 yards. Tennessee total all 400 yards. If you bet a $10 wagers, you win $181 on that parlay. That's actually a pretty good parlay. I won the parlay the other day that I won on through the Mighty FanDuel, which was interesting. I also love the stuff that with the NBA, get 25% bonus bets, tokens to use on a 3-legged same game parlay plus wager on any NBA game December 30th. Again, that's mightyfanduel.com. Don't forget to game responsibly. You always got to throw that in there. But it's about turning this organization. It's about turning the tide. It's about turning the ship. And if you take a look at this roster, and you take a look at the salary cap, and you take a look at the situation. We broke down the top 11 guys yesterday that were on this roster and reference the salary. You're not moving any of them. There's guys you can make ancillary moves. You can get a good amount of salary cap space, not a huge amount, but you can get a good amount of salary cap space. But Joe Schoen talked about this during his initial press conference.
We're going to build through the draft. We're going to have these foundational drafts, and then we're going to augment through free agency.
Well, he hasn't done that. He hasn't augmented through free agency. He hasn't augmented through anything else. And I keep hearing the same rumors over and over again. I was talking to OGR Sports yesterday that the Giants will be retaining Joe Schoen, and there's potential scuttlebutt that they are going to give him a 1-year extension on top of what's remaining on his year deal because of the fact they're going to have a coach to come in with a lame duck general manager. Makes sense. But like I said, I'm not in the building. These are just rumors and speculations for people that are in the building. But if you do that, does it really limit the amount of quality coaches that you can come in? Marcus Friedman's already said, I'm going back to Notre Dame. But I already said this with Marcus Friedman. I am against a coach that punished his players, his seniors, and his university because he felt slighted for not getting in the college championship playoffs. He felt slighted. I'm slighted. Well, you know what? Grow the fuck up. Grow a sack, Marcus Friedman, and grow the fuck up. How about that? Knock, knock, who's there? Grow the fuck up. So I didn't want him in the first place. But is this going to lead you now more toward the coordinator route? Because if I'm Mike McCarthy, do you really want to hook your horse up to Joe Schoen? Is this something that you look at and say, you know what? Joe Schoen to me is a guy that I really want to work for. Joe Schoen is this guy that, you know, that had this burnout in Dallas towards the end, even though I did win 36 games in 3 years and also win 2 divisional titles. But I had that kind of falling out with Jerry Jones in Dallas. Do I really want to go into another situation where I'm going to need to rebuild a team and an organization and maybe not be given the amount of time that I'm needed because of the fact that we are under a deadline to get shit done? I don't know. I don't know if I go that way. I don't think I can go that way. And then then you look at, well, who are going to be the head coach coordinators? And this is where it always gets this is where it gets dicey, because we have had such bad success with any type of coordinators. You have Chris Shula, of course, who's got the Shula name. Everyone loves Shula. You got old Jeff over there as well. You got so many different people that you could come in. I love it. Chris Shula is at DC. He's at Rise. Jeff Hafley's worked he's got that resume for the Packers. You got Joe Brady, of course, is the OC of the Buffalo Bills. Can I take another person in Buffalo? I don't think so. I think I'm so soured on Buffalo. But I laugh because that could be somebody that would be of interest to Joe Schoen, that Buffalo Bill connection. I would love for Matt LaFleur to get fired. If there was a potential possibility for Matt LaFleur to get fired, I would love it. I'd be so excited for him. And I also love the fact that you got Mike LaFleur, who was the offense coordinator of the Rams, younger brother, 38 years old, served as the OC over in Los Angeles since 2023. He's got that McVay connection. It's also got some to Kyle Shanahan. It's that to me would be more of a Joe Judge style pick, but this is a guy with more cachet in Mike LaFleur. You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm starting to cringe a little bit. Joe Brady of the Buffalo Bills. Don't forget to hit the like button, guys. That kind of makes me cringe a little bit, but that's a possibility of that too. Why? It says this game has to be proud, pathetic, sorry ass losers organization. If it was the Dallas Cow Turds, I wouldn't want my division rival to get the second overall pick. James Williams says, look, how does it look ahead? It looks clear ahead. That, of course, is the mighty Titanic that we have here from James Williams. Thank James. Hit that like button. Daniel says, happy Tuesday, everyone. James Stein, good afternoon, everyone. Strider said, let's go. Dude, the new monitor looks good. You can't even see the new monitor. It's a big one. Then it goes up and down and rotates. I don't know. I have an Apple monitor. My second monitor on the other side is an Apple monitor. It's not a studio monitor. It's just one of the old monitors they used to make like 10 years ago. It's the greatest fucking monitor ever. Happy holidays and happy New Year, Tim. Praying Joe Schoen gets fired. That's what I'm hoping for. OGR Sports, are you sure you want to talk about this team? Yeah, I'm sure I don't want to not talk about this team, but I keep thinking Joe Brady now. I keep thinking Joe Brady. Another offensive coordinator from the Buffalo Bills. It literally makes sense. I wish there was a way that the Giants could go out and use like some kind of firm or something, or maybe a website to search for a head coach. Oh, well, wait a minute. There is a place to go. That's ZipRecruiter.com. If you're looking to hire, if you're the Giants looking to hire, this is the busy time of year, because you know what? You have all these coaches are going to be looking for jobs, and it's your gotta goal in 2026, which means finding the right people to accomplish what the Giants want to do. It's ZipRecruiter. Unfortunately, also now hiring challenges in 2026, filling that specialized role like a head coach, identifying quality candidates with a huge pool of applicants. There are a lot of applicants this year. Thankfully, there's a place you can go. And I'm going to send this out. Joe Schoen. Everyone else in the Giant organization, get a pencil that you can go out and conquer these challenges and achieve your goals. That's ZipRecruiter, of course, at ZipRecruiter.com/audio. I'm going to say it again slow. ZipRecruiter.com/audio. ZipRecruiter's matching technology works to find that top talent so you don't have to waste time and money. And when you go out and find the right way, many job seekers in your area for qualified roles. So you know what? Let's get around East Rutherford, see what we can find with ZipRecruiter's advanced resume database. You can instantly unlock. No wonder ZipRecruiter's number one hiring site based on G2. That's ZipRecruiter.com/audio. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get qualified candidates within the first day. Giants definitely need to do that. So you see yourself, just go to this exclusive web address, which you see on the bottom of the page, and try ZipRecruiter for free. ZipRecruiter.com/audio. Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/audio. ZipRecruiter, as we all know, is the smartest way to hire. I literally do want to send that. I want to send that over to Joe Schoen. ZipRecruiter is going to give you a free posting. Does anyone see a, I don't know. Does anyone see like a theme here? I don't think anyone can see a theme here. Let's see here. Strider says, real NFL staff. Oh my, Joe Schoen. Let's see what else we got here. Mike says, considering how much have in 2026, it's unlikely McCarthy is coming here. Who is your second choice? Joe Brady. I don't think Mike McCarthy's coming here either. I really don't. And I think you're not gonna. There's not Brian. You know, it's funny. Brian Flores would be my second choice. Brian Flores would be my second choice, but Brian Flores, of course, is suing the Giants in the NFL. He's not coming here. If you're looking for that offensive-minded guy to work with Jackson Dart, you know, Mike LaFleur is not a crazy name. But I would go McCarthy, Brian Flores. I would give a ring to Eric Bieniemy. As crazy as this seems, as fucking nutty as this seems, Joe Brady choice coming out of Buffalo. We talk about the fact on this channel how when Brian Daboll came over from Buffalo, Josh Allen got better when he left. He got better. He became an MVP. And Joe Brady has orchestrated the number 2 offense in the NFL and scoring number 10 in the league in total yards. That was 2 years ago. This season, Buffalo's taken a little bit of a step back, but it's still a good offense. It's an interesting offense. They're starting to work in James Cook, which is taking some pressure off of Josh Allen. So there's an understanding of changing of the fluidity in reference to his offensive philosophy. Do I go Joe Brady? Do I go the Brady of the bunch? I don't know. But my top candidates are McCarthy, Brian Flores. I'm actually liking the idea of Mike LaFleur and Joe Brady. Those would be my top guys. Also, why don't you like Wan'Dale Robinson? We've talked about this 100 times about Wan'Dale Robinson. Wan'Dale Robinson is a guy that you could replace his production with someone in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round. Wan'Dale Robinson, if you take a look at the totality of this season, has 3 games where he has about 400 yards. Okay. And the other 13 games, he has less than 550 yards. And we've done this before. People want to pay a guy off of 142 yards versus Dallas, 156 off Detroit, and 113 off the Raiders. Those 3 games, people are kind of forgetting the middle. Game 1, 55 yards. After the Dallas, 26 yards, 14, 30, 84, 48, 46, 92, 36. Then he has the 156, and then 34, 54, 19, 113. You have to look at all of his yardage, not just those 3 big games. He's also been targeted 140 times. I think if I'm targeted 140 times, I might come up with 400 yards. This is the most yards per reception that he's ever averaged in a season, and it's only 11. His career average is 9.2, and he only has 10 total touchdowns in reference to receiving. And he has 1 rushing touchdown. So he has 10 total touchdowns in 4 years. That to me is not worth $45 million. Also, Josh Allen's been banged up. You're right. Wandell has a good year, but the dude can't catch rates is so small and it's up and down. Look at what he does when he has a big game. Look what he does the next game with the numbers. We just went through that. You're right. Wyatt said, watch the Raiders win and the Giants win too. Oh, that's the Giants' way. But the thing is this, we can no longer and have a process because we have a 30% chance of getting the first overall pick. Broke down the draft yesterday, and people think, I'm going to tell you right now, you are not going to get what you think for that second pick. You're not going to get what you think. The first pick was the treasure pick. The first pick is the treasure trove because we still don't know if Dante Moore is coming out, and that'll be a big question. I know everyone wants to take Reese over at Ohio State. But here's the problem I have with taking Reese with Ohio State. You better play him at fucking linebacker. Because he's kind of if you look at not Florida, Ohio State, I'm sorry. If you take a look at way he's played at Ohio State, with the Buckeyes, he better be a linebacker on this team. Because I'm tired of hearing about the dynamic playmaking ability of our front seven because it's just not fucking there. So then you're going to have Abdul Carter, Kayvon Thibodeau, Brian Burns, Dexter Lawrence, and Reese. I don't know, guys. And if you finish the Raiders 1, the Giants 2, and the Jets 3, you've really just kind of taken away all your draft cachet. Because the Jets can take Moore or Simpson at 3. Titans aren't taking a quarterback. Arizona to me is probably going to take an offensive lineman. I think Cleveland goes wide receiver. The Commanders aren't taking a quarterback. The Saints aren't taking a quarterback. Kansas City's probably going to go. If I'm Kansas City, I'm going wide receiver. Bengals aren't taking a quarterback. Miami Dolphins are not going to move out of 11. If anything, they're going to probably go be in the Malik Willis sweepstakes and try to get an offensive lineman. The Rams, I think the Rams could be in play where Malik Willis as well. OGR Sports brought that up. Tampa's not taking a quarterback. Dallas isn't taking a quarterback. Detroit's not taking a quarterback. Baltimore's not taking a quarterback. Minnesota's not. Jets have the 18th pick. The Panthers are not taking a quarterback. The Steelers aren't taking. The Steelers could take a quarterback. I do think that with the way that Aaron Rodgers is playing, I could see Ty Simpson. But I don't see the Steelers trading up to get Ty Simpson. I think they'll wait till 20. Dallas isn't taking one. Chargers isn't taking one. Buffalo's not. The Rams aren't. Eagles aren't. Texans aren't. Browns aren't. 49ers aren't. Bears aren't. New England isn't. Denver isn't. Seattle isn't. So the money pick, the money ball, the money shot.
That's what she said.
Was that first overall pick. So everyone thinks that they're going to get this haul. There's really not many teams besides the Jets that will make that type of Herculean leap in a quarterback class that really only has 3 guys in it. Herbologist, Big Blue Nation. Herbologist turning in from Africa. You're in Africa? Not Africa. But I don't know what they say in Africa. They say, good day, mate. Shane is clueless. I wonder if I could draft better by throwing darts at the charts. You probably could. That's how he stays. Mike McCarthy, work with Shane. That's probably it.
Hey, Mike McCarthy, this is Joe Shane of the New York Football Giants. An opening at our head coaching position. Hello? Mike? that Mike? Mike? Oh my God, we lost Mike.
We lost Mike. We lost Mike. There we go. That's better. You guys can see my hat. Can't believe it. Mike McCarthy not only hung up, he threw something at us. There we go. Whoops. There they do to you good Spanish ladies. I don't think that's going to work. Does anyone think that's going to work? Where do you go, my lovely? I want to know. Here we go. Don't keep me waiting. I can't believe Mike McCarthy not only hung up, he threw something at us. Sliders also says, Tim, everyone wants the OC from the Commanders. And I'm like, no. I agree. Joe Schoen is the perfect candidate to rebuild Joe Schoen's rebuild, because you got to build Joe Schoen's rebuild off the rebuild off the rebuild. Because if you don't, we're going to be here all year. We haven't even gotten into free agency yet. The Giants need to fire Joe Schoen or they're toast. This whole team sucks. The big one, that's what she said. I got a question. I have a question in this climate, and maybe now it's because Trump is president, that Jackson Dart's dad can come out and say that Danny Cannell could suck a big fat one in reference to his comments about his son, which was nothing bad. He was actually just being truthful. Why is that not homophobic? Why has no one talked about the fact that it is an extremely homophobic statement? Or because Jackson Dart's dad says that we don't care about that anymore in New York, which is one of the most liberal cities. Hires someone from the Bills. Sounds like Joe Schoen is playing. Ha. Lazy thing to do. Well, find a new owner from a new owner for the Giants on ZipRecruiter.com. Well, let's find out here. Hold on. let's find out. You know what you need to do? You just need to go to ZipRecruiter.com/audio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/audio. Number one, according people find jobs. Go to ZipRecruiter. Where was he? Where were we here? There we go. Ask me what's up, brother. Wyatt also says, wanted a capable owner from New York Giants. We need half a brain in order to buy this team. Brian Flores would be a great choice, but McCarthy would hurt Dart. His offense is the past. We need a modern offense. Well, here's the problem with that statement, my friend. Mike McCarthy actually made Dak Prescott a better quarterback. So I'm not really sure where you're getting your information from in regards to that. If you go through the Mike McCarthy years you could see that even though at times the team was not prevalent. Here, just for an example, one of the 12-5 seasons, he threw for 4,500 yards, 36 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions. And the 11-5 season, he threw for 40,000 yards, 37 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions. He was hurt the second year, which hurt his production, but he still threw for over 2,800 yards and 23 touchdowns. So within a period of 3 years, even though he missed 5 games, under your assessment that he does not run a quality offense, let's figure this out here. So we got 36 plus 37 plus 27. So in 3 years, missing 5 games, he threw for 100 touchdowns. So you divide that by 3. So he averaged 30. So Dak Prescott averaged 33 touchdowns a year for 3 years during those 12-5 those 12-5 runs. Yeah. Okay. We don't need Dart to stop his frequent visits to the Blue Tent. Probably looking at Tinder. Let's see here. We have a front. Yeah. I don't know. We still can't stop. And for all the morons that are like, hey, look how our defensive coordinator is doing so much better. We still lost. We've only won 1 game. And did you see the competition he was playing against? I would hope to God he was doing better. Giants defense can't run, stop, or tackle. Besides that, we're good. Michael, what do we got here? Let's see. Tim, you're killing me with Joe Brady. How much of the Bullets defense is Brady versus Allen? Unknown. It's basically we hope that we hire. Daboll was. Halfley is a better hire. Why is Halfley a better hire? Explain to me why Jeff is the best. And I'm not trying to be mean about this, but explain to me why he's a better hire. Because if you have not noticed, in the last 4 games, Green Bay cannot stop the run. Derrick Henry ran for 4,960 on Saturday. Their philosophy in regards to stopping the run has not been there. The Green Bay defense this year is not what the Green Bay defense has been. So why is Hafley a better choice? What success has Hafley had in Green Bay outside also being only in college for 3 years? What success has he had in regards to the playoffs? Because that's all I ever hear about Mike McCarthy. We can't bring in Mike McCarthy because he's not successful in the playoffs. So I'm curious, what has Hafley done that makes you think that he is going to be this wonderful coach? I'm sorry, 4 years in Boston College, and he was 22 and 26. So he does have coaching experience. But I've watched Green Bay for the last couple of years. Everyone knows I'm a quasi Green Bay fan. I remember Hafley when he was over at Rutgers in 2011. He's only been since 2024 in reference to the defense coordinator for the Packers. So what gives the pedigree to Hafley over someone like Joe Brady? The Giants defense is a joke. They need a coordinator knows what the hell they are doing. Dart isn't a pocket passer. I love when your quarterback of the future comes out and tells everyone, hit the like button. I'm not a pocket passer. I'm not going to do what they tell me to do. Talked about this a couple times. Talked about this also with our good friend James Williams. Back in the 80s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, the stigma of the black quarterback was the fact that they were not intelligent enough to run an NFL offense because all they wanted to do was run around and scramble. Jackson Dart does it, and he is literally the messiah for this organization. And someone like Danny Cannell has the audacity to point out the fact that this guy doesn't throw, even though we've taken a look at the charts that have shown he completes 72% from anything -2 to 8. From 10 to 20, he's at 45% completion percentage. Anything over 25 yards, he's under now 23%. So he has a bunch of rushing touchdowns. We blasted Jalen Hurts for the tush push and all the touchdowns he gets for that. So, but we are now going to get away from that and say it's okay for Jackson Dart to do it. But when Jalen Hurts does it, he's just living off his offensive line. Things that make you go, no shit. He needs to learn how to throw from the pocket. Just panics and runs. You're right. Dart won't last long. Oh, I agree. He's not going to last long. I agree.
That's what she said.
Come on, you can't steal my shit. Notorious TIM, the godfather of YouTube Giants. Can you behold? Where have you been, brother? Behold, where have you been? We're in talks and consideration for coming back next year. I'm not saying we're doing it, but we are in talks, and we are in talks in reference to doing one more season. Still, we're still 80-20, not coming back 80. But there is a glimmer of hope that we're in negotiations in reference to this. Childishness, Slider. There's got to be a better way to respond than talk about your son. Telling someone to suck it is pretty much childish. Yeah, it is pretty much childish. But, and again, like, why isn't that not homophobic? Just asking. Are saying McCarthy was a horrible head coach. The Cowboys fans are just as dumb as the Giant fans. James Williams says Flores would come here and hire. They quit immediately and tell Jerry, happy Kwanzaa. He's not coming, kids. I really think Brian Flores would have been a perfect. My dream team 4 years ago was Ryan Poles and Brian Flores. We did a whole video about it. I like the pedigree in regards to where Ryan Poles came from, especially his tenure in Kansas City. And I've said it before, I love Brian Flores because Brian Flores was basically this guy that his players started hating him and they started quitting on him, allegedly, in Miami. And then Miami just started trading players away. And at one point, I think they started the season 1-7. And then Brian Flores says, "Oh, everyone hates me. You're trading all my players. Well, fuck you. I'm gonna go win 9 games." And they finished 9-8. I love that about Brian Flores. He was 10-6 the season before. He starts like 1-7. They trade everyone away. He says, "Fuck you, management. I'm gonna win 9 games." You fire a guy who has won 9 games after winning 10, after starting a horrible season. He's a mastermind defensive coordinator, which would fit nicely. If you're going to go get Reese from Ohio State, it would fit it would be loving. It'd be a great fit. It'd be a great mesh. I just don't see it. Dart's cocky during that postgame interview rubbed me the wrong way. His "I'm going to be here for a long time" comment really, what the fuck, bro? Bro, what the fuck? What have you really done? I've actually talked to a couple people that have kind of been rubbed the wrong way by Jackson Dart. He's one of these Gen Zers that hasn't done anything, is about himself. Anytime anyone says, I am not a pocket passer, I'm not changing my philosophy, you're not thinking about the team. Now, we've gone through this history in reference to the scrambling quarterback in the Super Bowl and the playoffs. It's ugly. But you have to have some give and take. Joe Schoen is ass cheeks. The only benefits from keeping him is perpetual high draft choices, which we can never get right. Dart is a TikTok dancer with shitty dancing when he scores. Omega Supremes, we are back in 2023. 2030. I'm sorry. It's been a long day. I'm very tired. Like I said, running out to get a monitor was fun. And then my son and I were out in the backyard shooting airsoft rifles and stuff because he got some new pistols for Christmas. And everyone has a different way you put in the CO2s. So we were trying to figure out how to put the CO2s in. And of course, we burned through like 20 different CO2s. Awesome news if you come back, Tim. Well, like I said, it's in talks. Slider says, "Tim, take your time. Don't rush back. Do it because you want to, not because you have to." I don't have to. I don't have to at all. But I love it because I always quote because we have the Mendoza quote, but I always think of McBain. McBain, like I said, McBain always does terrible movies, and I love it because you had a critic once ask McBain in The Simpsons, how do you live with yourself? How do you live with yourself? How do you sleep at night, knowing you make all horrible movies? And McBain looked at him and said, "I sleep on a big pile of money with lots of beautiful women." And the guy was like, "Good answer." So I already have a beautiful wife. But if someone wants to give me a big bag of money, you got to think about it. Let's see here. In regards to Hafley, it's his OC experience. He didn't win at Boston College, and there's no connection or correlation between coaching in college and coaching in the pros. It's a totally different game. Compared to most of not all the coordinators, he at least had that. He did achieve bowl eligibility 3 out of 4 seasons. Jeff Hatley's record, 6-5. 6-6. He went to the Military Bowl. There's that big bowl, which they, I believe, lost. 3-9, 7-6, and he went to the Fenway Bowl. Conference standing 6th, 7th, and 9th. He was 22-26. So he was a failed head coach. College gives him cachet to then be a head coach in the pros, even though Green Bay's defense, especially their run defense, the last 2 years has been putrid at times, over the last 4 games. And one of the things that we do not do well on this team is stop the run. I'm just throwing that out there. King Supreme says, I hate to say it, but it's funny when the same people who hated Dart will be calling for Arch next year. Oh, as soon as Jackson Dart hits that sophomore slump, and it's coming. I'm sorry, guys, it's coming. You literally can see it coming.
That's what she said.
Only because of the fact that you've reached that point where you know it's going to get ugly, and it's going to get ugly quick. Because defense coordinator, smart ones, going back to the Eagles, showed you how to beat Dart. And that's going to be the game plan next year. Dart seems like a dumb, immature child. I don't know that. I don't know that because I don't know the man. Omega! It's Omega Supreme. PP says, Tim, if the Giants lose the game versus the Cowboys, do they still have the number one pick of the 2026 draft? No, because if the Raiders lose, then the Raiders only have 2 wins. So they only keep it if the Raiders lose. Yes, very good. Stop the run. What's that? No, we don't want to stop the run. We can't stop the run. But if you're looking at turning this Titanic, you're looking at turning this ship, you're looking at turning it the right way, you're going to have to build through the draft. And I'm not enamored with this NFL draft. I'm not. If anything, a lot of scouts are calling this a weak quarterback class. This is a draft that, in my mind, it lacks top tier stars, which would be perfect for the Giants because we can't draft a star anyways. You know, you got Love. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Reggie Bush coming out of Notre Dame. Elite speed, receiving, power. You got Downs, who is their top defensive talent, but I'm not enamored by the I'm not enamored by the safeties in this draft. And I always said it before, you can't take a safety in the top 10. Safeties, defensive tackles, and tight ends you cannot take in the top 10. I mean, I think the strongest position right now in this draft, you're probably looking at edge, which you have 3 of them. You got Bain over at Miami. What's his name in Clemson? I want to call him Peter Griffin. It's not Peter. You got the kid over at Clemson, Peter Love. No, Woods. Peter Woods. And like I said, if you take a look at the draft itself, it's one of those things that it's going to be interesting, but I don't know. I just don't see this full top tier talent. And it's one of these drafts that we are going to use this draft, and Giant fans want to use this draft as another building block draft. And this is just not a very, I think 2026 is going to be a very disappointing draft for a lot of people. I know some people think Reese is the number 1 prospect. It could be. But then I think you have a fall off. But I like Falk out of Auburn as a defensive end. Like I said, Peter Woods, defensive tackle out of Clemson. You know, you got that big kid at slash plays tackle and guard over in Miami. I can't think of his name. You got the guard in Ohio the guard over at Penn State, Vega. I can't remember his name. I wish OGR was here. He would tell us. But like I said, it's an interesting draft, but it's not a talent late. This is not a talent laden draft. This is not a draft that you look at and go, okay, this is going to be a defining draft. Like, I think the 2002 draft was a defining draft. That was the Shockey draft. I think that was a defining draft in regards to talent. But certain things, I mean, if you think about, you had Peppers in the draft. You had, Quentin Jammer was good. You had Dwight Freeney, who should be a Hall of Famer. You had Shockey in that draft. You had Haynesworth at that draft when he played well enough. You had what's his name? You had the big wide receiver Walker. Ed Reed was in that draft as well. Of course, you had all the Miami guys, but you had a nice, good, deep draft. Clinton Portis came out of that draft in Miami too. You had Michael Lewis over with the Eagles. It was a good draft. It was not a deep draft, but it had a high talent draft towards the top and then kind of petered out later on. I kind of see that with this draft, but that's just me. What's up, Trenton? How was your ride home? Were you safe? Greeny Green says, Dart lacks arm talent, not a great processor, not the biggest, most athletic player. Every year there will be a quarterback in the draft that makes us question if we should keep Dart. I sometimes question looking at Ty Simpson. And we're going to do a breakdown because we're not leaving, but we're going to do a breakdown on players. And I've already said Mendoza to me is a better prospect even now than Jackson Dart. And I think Ty Simpson, in my mind, coming out of Alabama, 6'2", 208, he is another guy that I think in some regards is a better talent in this better talent or better over. I should rephrase that. Better overall talent than Jackson Dart. If you watched any Alabama games, I'm not saying Jackson Dart's not intelligent, but when you have Lane Kiffin as your OC and your HC and your OC, you're not allowed to do things. You're not allowed to go through pre-snap reads. You're supposed to throw to a spot, throw to another place, or run. But Simpson, if you watch him play, he reminds me of Peyton Manning. He's a maestro. He's consistently putting guys in motion. He's making adjustments on his protections. He is literally a savvy NFL veteran in reference to pre-snap reads in college. I've never seen a guy manipulate the safeties the way that he does. Ty Simpson does. He creates throwing windows. He's got the quick release, which you got to love. I think he's got to develop a little bit better mechanics. He understands ball placements, which turns into yak. And when you create yak opportunities, you're hitting your wide receivers in stride, and this is what Ty Simpson does. He's got pocket presence. He reminds me not of Peyton, but an Eli Manning. He's got this internal clock. We used to love it with Eli Manning because go down without anyone touching him like he was shot. And he would fall. He would literally fall to the ground. But then you would see the defender go over top. Ty Simpson does that. He's got quick decision-making. He is a true leader. Now, the biggest problem with Ty Simpson is his physical attributes aren't going to blow you away. Jackson Darts doesn't blow me away. I don't think he's an elite athlete. I think for him to functionally work better in the NFL, probably got to put on 10 to 15 pounds. He's got to show a little bit more touch on his deep ball. He's got the arm, but he's got to show some consistent touch. He's not as inconsistent on his deep pass as Jackson Dart is, but he's got to show a little bit more touch. I think when he starts going through his interviews, and I think when he goes through the combine, I think Ty Simpson's going to move up the chart a little bit. But to me, I still think Ty Simpson is a better prospect than Daniel Jones. And to a lot of people's points, I think there's going to be not Daniel Jones, Jackson Dart. I think there's a lot of people in this draft that think Simpson, Moore, and Mendoza are better overall draft prospects. I love it. ESPN analyst calls for the Giants to draft Mendoza or Dart over Dart. I love this. ESPN analyst, who said this? This has got to be, let's just say, Greg McElroy believes the Giants should consider spending a first-round pick on either Dante Moore or Fernando Mendoza. Moore is really the wild card because Dante Moore is going to screw up so many different things. Because Oregon needs to see if they have to hit the transfer portal. It's really gonna screw up that draft because this kid is 6'3", 206 pounds. I think he's on the same grade level of Mendoza, Simpson. I think they're kind of all on the same. It's a guy with a quick release. I'm not gonna get into it. He's got downfield accuracy. He's got the arm. He's got the skills to pay the bills. You know, it's funny though. He's kind of the reverse Jackson Dart at times. If you look down and play at Oregon, his deep ball is beautiful, but sometimes mechanically he has issues with the short pass. So it's kind of it's kind of interesting. He's I don't know. It's gonna be a decision here. This is a draft you trade down. This is a draft that you trade down, but my problem is, Greeny Green, I don't know if the talent to trade down is here, or do you trade down and out to 2027? Then you're pushing your rebuild back another year. King Supreme says, even if we had the top pick and loaded 2027 good draft, Joe Shane would still fuck it up. Yes, Trent already got turned. What's up? I suppose you're right about Halfley. Joe Brady is a competent gambler for a reason. All HCs hire are everyone. I'm not saying you're wrong about Halfley. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying if you watch Green Bay since 2024, outside of some great individual performances, they have massive defensive breakdowns. Look at the last 4 weeks. And this is a guy that people say, well, he was 4 years as HC over in college. How many college coaches really transition well into the NFL? How many great college coaches tried to come into the NFL and failed? Do you think the Eagles should play for the 2 seed? I would rest my starters. If I'm the Eagles, I'm going to rest my starters, Trenton. Sliders says, I see the highlights of Dart's game, Tim, and yep. I'm like, yep, look at the throws, -2 to 8 yards. We don't need to see the highlights. Because that's why we're professional here. You see all the white. You see negative to below 10, and then you see that 10 to 20, and then you go on everything over 20. And this is one of his better games. Then we got the same thing. Everything's kept short. You start going deep. You start losing accuracy. Same thing again. Everything within 10 yards. Anything that went over 10 yards, he completed 1 of 7. I mean, it's an interesting prospect. No one cares what Dart's dad said because no one cares about the Giants outside of the fan base. I don't even know about it till you mentioned it. Yeah, I didn't know about it either until someone brought it up. Someone sent me the audio file or the video file, whatever. You got to trade Kayvon and Dexter. Here's the problem. I don't disagree with you. The problem is right now you cannot trade Kayvon Thibodeau in a walk year. This is a walk year coming off an injury where he's only played. You got to remember, this guy has only played 14, 17, 12, and 10 games. So he has only played, a percentage of the game. So he's not this guy that this was the year to trade him. This was the year to move on from him. But we didn't. Because you got to remember, he's only played 53 games out of 68 total. And his best season was 3 years ago, be 3 years prior. And that was only 11.5 sacks. The value for Kayvon Thibodeau is low. You may get some kind of, you may get something for him towards a trade deadline, but there's not a high value for him. The same thing with Dexter Lawrence. I did a video 9 months ago that said you needed to train Dexter Lawrence before the season even started. Because Dexter Lawrence has not been the same player. Honestly, if you're honest about it, outside of the sacks, he has not been the same player since 2022. He's not this destructive singular force that moves, that people move away from. People run at Dexter Lawrence now. Even during the playoff year, the Giants were getting gashed in the internal section of the line, internal portion of the line. The highlight of Dexter Lawrence is he's played 16 out of 16 games, but he only has 30 combined tackles and half a sack. The time to move on for Dexter Lawrence was a year ago. So the intrinsic trade value of these guys just aren't there. Slider says we're going to Belton dude like two. I just automatically quit. Trent says if Joe Schoen comes back, it's further proof that Mara has lost his gosh darn mind. Styles, I don't know. Styles great. Yeah, maybe. Even if the Giants get a top 3 pick, they don't develop a player. Dart is going to flame out, cut Dart, start over again. But they don't develop. Classic catch 22. We called it a catch 44 yesterday. Considering what you just said about Halfley, I changed my opinion. Brady scares the shit out of me. He's a complete gambler. If Allen wasn't there, would we even know him? Yeah. You got to remember, we allegedly only knew Brian Daboll because of Josh Allen, because he liked to talk about Josh Allen's success. But Josh Allen's biggest success came with Joe Brady. His only MVP is with Joe Brady. He's gotten better every year with Joe Brady. Don't forget to hit the like. It's the Miami boys. Good. I'm glad everyone's safe. Chris said, seriously, though, if I were Dart's boss, I said, you want to be a professional NFL quarterback or a gay TikTok dancer? Yeah. I mean, for someone that literally comes out and says, I'm not a pocket passer, I'm going to play my game. As an NFL owner, as an NFL head coach, I would sit the young man down and say, you think you have all this success in the NFL. You've won 3 games. Your success comes from running the football. You're my quarterback. Would you like me to show you the film on how there was a pass that everyone talks about the other day that I see all over Twitter when he like guns this 15-yard out to the sideline? And I had to see everyone break down this play ad nauseum, like, oh, look at him gun that ball. All I kept thinking to myself watching him throw that ball was, God, that kid had to build to shoot at 15 yards.
That's what she said.
Could the right head coach make it work with Dart? Any head coach can make it work with a good quarterback. Any quality head coach. There's been plenty. Fuck. Brad Johnson won a Super Bowl. Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl. There is a difference between making it work and long-term success. And I think that's what we need to look at. So sure, you could. Jay Sports Card says the only way we don't have a meltdown season is if we fire Joe Schoen. Well, we have to hope for global warming because that iceberg looks pretty big. I do have to laugh a lot. I was building the thumbnail last night and I was getting kind of lazy. It was late. I was watching Law and Order for like season 14. And I didn't feel like building a thumbnail. So I started building the thumbnail and I'm working on the couch, get my glasses on, I'm doing all my thing. Then I'm building the guy and I'm building the boat and I'm putting everything together. And I'm like, I'm going to put Joe Schoen's face on the captain's ship and I'm going to increase this. And I stopped and said, I'm too fucking tired. So I'm done. I'm not saying that he's better than Dart. I'm saying he is a better prospect than Dart. I think he's a better prospect. Yes. I think he is. Here's my problem, and we've talked about this since the draft. There was a plethora of issues with Jackson Dart in college. And in college, when he was still in school, nobody was talking about Jackson Dart as a first-round pick. They had him as high as 50. They had him then. All of a sudden, at the end of the season's over, college games are all over. All of a sudden, he starts rocketing up the chart. And I kept saying the thing that always worries of a quarterback who was not highly touted enough to be be above the 50th prospect. And then all of a sudden, he is this guy that everyone's in love with. And that always worries me. That worries me because you just can't figure it out. And these are from scouts before. These are scouts before the college season was over about Dart. Throws at different arm angles, which is fine. but his release point was closer to his chest than his head, leading to 9 batted balls in 2024, the same number as shorter passers, Shedeur Sanders and Dylan Gabriel. 20 over 3 years. Dart might have the ability to make pre-snap reads, but often doesn't make plays based on these situations, and mainly is based off one and often based off of one read or half the field. There was some, but not enough evidence to consistently suggest Dart can consistently process NFL coverages post snaps, nor is there enough evidence to show that he can make full field reads. Definitely has issues locking on to one player before throwing, cannot get away with it. Didn't take the easy throws as often as he should, looking for the bigger plays, missing end result opportunities. I don't think he's actually changed that. What Dart struggles with is to make post-snap reads or lock onto a player and pass up the easier slows. He naturally holds onto the ball too long. Sometimes it works out, but the majority of the time it turns into an incompletion. Definitely pressure sensitive, frequently opting for the escape hatch. We've seen that, which is legs, rather than sticking in a muddy pocket behind the line of scrimmage. Does not consistently keep his eyes downfield, and frankly gave up on plays way too soon once pressure wasn't. The deeper ball tends to have too much air and come up short. And then this is one of the biggest thing we talked about in regards to Jackson Dart, how his completion percentage drops. Last year, his completion rate in the fourth quarter was 60% worse of any quarter. His off-target rate was 15%. That was consistently over the 3 years at Ole Miss, where he had a 60% completion percentage and a 12.4% off-target rate in the fourth quarter. Is especially noticeable 3 years at Ole Miss and 1 year at USC. Dart threw 0 game-winning touchdowns, led the Rebels to 0 game-winning drives in the fourth quarter. So they're basically saying as the game goes on, his accuracy goes away. These were what they were talking about before the end of the season. And then all of a sudden, all that went away. Yeah, yeah. Pocket passer with a better NFL arm and understanding of the pro concept. Sanders is a better quarterback. Sanders doesn't take off and run with the most slightest pressure. And I've said this about Shedeur Sanders. What amazes me about that motherfucker is he just stands in the pocket. He's a beating, but he's always looking downfield. Our guy doesn't do that. He just takes off. I also wanted Malik Willis. And now Malik Willis is going to get motherfucking paid.
Malik Willis. Right here in the
What do you think about drafting? We can't keep drafting guys to replace guys that we just drafted. How many wins? I see 4 to 5 wins. When did he say that he wasn't a pocket passer? Or was it post game? It was a post game. It was post game. Tim, keep cutting out. Although it might be my end. No, we're having a windstorm here. So yeah, we're having that issue here. We're having a little bit of a windstorm. I'm gonna put the link in the chat because I got James Williams. James, I know you're out there, brother. But let me put this out there. 7 and 10 interceptions. He sucks. Really? How many Cleveland games have you watched? Out of curiosity, how many Cleveland games have you watched? How much talent does Cleveland have? Cleveland has no offensive line. Their best running back is a rookie. Jerry Jeudy's their only wide receiver. And he has had 0 time to throw or play. And before he came into that he wasn't even running scout team reps because Kevin Stefanski doesn't like him. And he will come out, and people will tell you he'll come out. He wasn't even running scout team.
That's great. I find your. That's great. That's great.
Gotta get to work. That's right.
Yes.
Come on. Come on, my name is Willie. Baby, I keep the ladies creaming and all my fans got screaming. You can defeat me, you're dreaming.
Flex your chest. Get Metrex. So, Richard, you have watched, but he sucks. Oh, stupid as stupid does, Mrs. Blue. I'm guessing 4 to 5 wins next year. I am too. Negative. Oh, I'm Richard. Negative. I know how to type 3 words. Dart is taking us to the play. Okay, Richard. When Dart doesn't and he flames out like I predicted Daniel Jones would, is your pussy ass going to come here and say you were wrong? No, we know that, Richard. But thank you for playing. You're a fucking idiot.
Get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Where's James? James, where are you? Ooh, Dave and Buster's. $19.99, all you can eat menu. Okay, James, where are you? James. Calling James. Bueller. Bueller. Where is James? James, where are you? Where are you? Looks like Dart to me. What is James talking about here? Crucial fourth quarter run against Florida. Oh, that's pretty funny. Links in the chat. Hit the like button, people. I'm tired of stupid people. Hold on. This is for Richard. Idiot. There we go. I posted something in the chat just for Richard. What are you drinking, brother? Uh-oh. You're getting ready?
Oh, excuse me. My fault.
You're getting James Stein. No, we're not having any guests on today, brother. I'm just having James on. I'm gonna kick you from the studio, brother, because I'm not having any other guests on today. Just to James Meister, because I want to talk to him for a few minutes. Because you've been working so much, I don't get an opportunity to talk to you outside of sending you Karl Anthony Towns pings and
yeah, those are pretty funny.
So there is a gif of Karl Anthony Towns doing a little shimmy. He's doing a little shimmy. So anytime that he does something well, or James, who does not like Karl Anthony Towns, says something about a shimmy, I sent him the catch. I call it the cat shimmy.
I mean, we're winning. We're winning games. He's just soft, man. He just, you know how I feel about it. He's a very weird anomaly. 7 foot, just Play-Doh. It's crazy. That loves to shoot threes.
loves to shoot threes, but the man is a double machine.
He has big games every now and then when you don't expect it. That's the crazy thing. He'll bust out for something. Like in the Indiana game in the playoffs.
Talk about that putback he had the other night. You want to talk about that big putback he had the other night when he's having a bad game, had the offense rebound, big putback. But
then the games like last night. What did he do last night? Like honestly, like last night, he just faded to black.
He was 10. Let's see, he had 10 points, 12 rebounds. I think he had 5 offensive rebounds.
Nikola Jokic had like 21 points, 5 rebounds, 8 assists before he went out with his injury and a half.
Okay, he had 12 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 blocks, and no turnovers
against the New Orleans. Zion Berger Williamson, come on, man. He should have had 30, and
I'm going to do the shimmy all day long. That's all we're going to keep doing. We're here to talk about Giants, though. We're here to talk about turning the ship, this rudderless ship. That's what we're here to talk about, James. We're not here to talk about anything else. We're not here to talk about how Jackson Dart's father can sling homophobic and no one says anything about it. We're not that up because that would just be wrong. But we're here about turning the ship around. We're here about figuring out this organization and moving it the right way. And the Danny Cannell thing you sent me this afternoon was hilarious.
Yeah, I mean,
do you want to explain what you want to explain what clip you sent me about Danny Cannell?
I don't even remember because I was actually about to send you another one. Then I forgot that you were. I've been watching Danny Cannell clips.
It was the fourth quarter run against Florida.
Oh yes, okay, yeah. The Danny Cannell. we drafted him 97.
Mm-hmm.
But Danny Cannell, I remember being young, and I was actually a little excited when we got him. You know, I thought, okay, maybe he can bring something. But at Florida State, you know, he had a pretty decent career. He actually set school record at the time for touchdowns. And there was a play where, you know, I think they're on like the 5-yard line, about to score. I forgot who they're playing. You know, bootleg it out. He runs out, fakes it to the running back, darts in, no pun intended. Guy almost takes his head off, scores, and it's like, yeah, you know, it's just this. I just said, oh, that looks like Dart to me. And I just thought it's funny because of the whole, you know, with his pops thing and everything. You know, it's like everybody making it a big deal. But I thought, you know, the point you made is funny, but we're not going to get into that. But Danny Cannell, you know, when he did come out, just real quick for historic sake, he did help us. He was a 4th-round pick. He did help us. I think it was in his second, not his first year, but technically his second year.
97. He went 7-2-1, 1,700 yards, 11 touchdowns, 9 interceptions.
And we did go to the playoffs. Right, we won the division and went to the playoffs.
Yep.
Lost against Minnesota.
Yep.
You know, so you know, Danny Cannell did have some, I guess you could call it Daniel Jones type success. You know, early on. Oddly enough, against Minnesota, but we lost against Minnesota that year.
It was very much a Daniel Jones success.
You know, so moving forward to right the ship. I mean, as long as we have the same captain, that is, you know, Captain Shane, I don't really care what we do as far as, you know, trading down, keep the pick, draft the best available. How's it look ahead? It's clear. Great. Full steam ahead. You know, I don't trust
full steam ahead here. But you know, it's anything like, you know, with the Giants, man. I mean, we've literally looked at this and like, this has literally been the last 14 years.
He went like this. He went like that. I said to Hollywood, where'd he go? Hollywood said, where'd who go?
That's literally the ship of the iceberg. Where'd the ice?
That's an amazing thumbnail. No. That's an amazing thumbnail. Like just you know, it looks like, I was saying to you, it looks like Fire Marshal Bill from In Living Color, and he's driving the ship. And if you know anything about Fire Marshal Bill, he likes to push it to the limit. And I feel like that's Joe Shane. He's Fire Marshal Bill in us. We're just along for the ride.
We're along for the ride. Guys, don't forget to hit the like button.
Hit that like button.
We're along for the ride. We are, but if you look at this team, if you look at the 2026 draft, a lot of pundits are saying this is not a star-studded. A lot of times in these drafts, the first 25, 30 guys potentially could have star potential. They're saying in this draft, there's maybe 6, 7 guys early. And then this is a depth. They're saying that this is a depth piece draft. Well, our entire organization, our entire team is built off of depth pieces. So the Giants and their infinite fortitude falling out of the first pick, the second pick, and I keep trying to explain to people, is not that valuable because the Jets are probably picking third. So what? And I can't think of a true quarterback needy team that would want to make a leap up to 2 for a quarterback when Chase Evans draft probably looks better for the quarterback situation outside of the top 3 guys.
Well, that's what a lot of people are saying, is that next year, you know, not this upcoming draft, but the following one is the one for the quarterbacks. If you really need a quarterback, you know, the one where Arch Manning, more than likely will be coming out. Which that'll be crazy, but
potentially next year it could be Sellers, Moore, and Manning.
Well, Sellers, that's not an option, so I'm not even think about him. But
Sellers looks like he's going back to South Carolina.
All right, okay. But honestly, for us, that's why I was saying before about the trading down or keeping the pick. Like, we have so many holes, right? And if it is true what they're saying about it's not really a star-studded draft. You're gonna have to go digging for the gold. We're not good at that. Like if you had a good organization,
we're not good. We're not. No, we're not
like
good
just to put it mildly, like I'm not even gonna just to be serious. Like we're not good at like the things that you kind of have to be good at, like finding those pieces and the diamond in the rough. We don't do that. We take the shiny piece right on top and say this will be good, and then it's fool's gold.
Yeah, pyrite.
We're QVC in it hard. We're QVC in it hard. We're not going into the mall. We're not.
you mean we are Carl Banks QVC in it?
Like no disrespect, but we're not going for the real thing. And it's funny. I was telling my boy, I was watching Myles Garrett. He's talking about the Aaron Rodgers and how he's ducking him in an interview. And I said, yo, look at that dude, man. That's a football player. That guy looks like 2 Bobby Okereke. 2. He looks like he ate Bobby Okereke. Like, like we don't have we don't have guys that are menacing. We're the New York Giants, and right now we're like the little Giants, literally in the movie. So that's really just to say
that's pretty menacing. That's pretty menacing.
Oh my God, he's gonna go through the reel.
That's pretty menacing. Oh wait, he's not on the Giants. Sorry.
No,
sorry, that's a football player. Sorry.
But you could have had him. That's the crazy thing. Like, you're showing that pick, and everybody laughs about the Green Bay thing, but we could have had him. So
he traded away. We saw Micah Parsons and said, "We want Kadarius Toney."
My boy asked me a really interesting question. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of fans out here like this, like him, but won't admit it. And he asked me, he said, "Oh, Danny Cannell." He said, he wasn't watching football then. And he said, "Were we sucky during the Danny Cannell years and the Tiki years and these other years?" And I said, "Yo, I'll be real with you. I've been watching since 90. I'm 43. Tim, obviously, he has more knowledge than me, but and a lot of us, we love him for it. But for me, watching since 1990, that's a good grasp going up to now." And
you had a Super Bowl in 90.
Right. When I could fully, and I'm talking about 1990 was the first year, not when I first was really watching football, but when I could first really grasp everything that was going on. And I understood, for like, oh, okay, this, and it just so happened Super Bowl year. Wow. We've had a lot of years where we weren't good. We've been bad. We've been garbage. But there's levels in life. There's levels to garbage, just like there's levels to greatness. And everybody in the Hall of Fame is not on the same tier, and everybody in the garbage dump is not on the same tier. And we've just been on the bottom rung of garbage. Tiki Barber, when Tim talked about this a lot, when he first came out, he was not the great Tiki Barber it took him a few years to get it going, and yes, he was part of a team that did go to a Super Bowl, so he was part of some good teams. Danny Cannell years, Kent Graham years, we were bad, but there was also years where it was like, oh, okay, this is interesting. Like you have the Jim Fossil year. He comes in, we go to the playoffs. It's like, wasn't really expecting that. But then, you find out, oh, okay, we're not really that good. Danny Cannell's not the guy. But I'm just saying, to sum it up, that we haven't been this bad for this long, this putrid in my memory.
I'm going to give you an example. Because to me, the 90s for the Giants were not this period of time that was, I would say, the after that 90s Super Bowl. And I want to compare it to, and I'm not even going to get into the 70s because I remember the 70s and no one ever wants to remember the 70s. But after that Super Bowl, we went 8-8, 6-10, 11-5, 9-7, 5-11, 10-6, 10-5-1, 8-8, 7-9, and 12-4. After the Giants 2011 Super Bowl, we went 7-9, 6-10, 6-10, 11-5, 3-13, 5-12, 4-12, 6-10, 4-12, and that next 10-year period of time. So people are crying for the 90s, and the 90s weren't that good, but at least we were competitive in the 90s, and we had multiple playoff appearances, even though it wasn't a good time. Yardley wants to know John Harbaugh or Tomlin for next year. I assume if one of them gets, or one or both gets fired. I already know my.
I'm going Tomlin. I've seen him do more with less.
I'm going Tomlin because all Tomlin does is go to the playoffs. Literally, that's it. That's all he does. And he goes to the playoffs with no quarterback. He went to the playoffs 2 years ago with no quarterback. Russell Wilson is not a quarterback. He went to the playoffs 3 years ago basically with no quarterback. All he does is win games and go to the playoffs and teach people and cultivate talent. John Harbaugh, to me, is a quality head coach, but if I had to pick the two, and I was like, okay, you can have either one of them for 5 years, $80 million. I'm taking Tomlin.
Yeah, Mike Tomlin, to me, in a weird way, he's like a MacGyver of coaches, where you give me some scraps and I'll save the day. As you said, man hasn't had a losing season. Yes, obviously when he had better talent and a quarterback, that's when he had a Super Bowl. But to keep a team motivated and to be competitive and to go to the playoffs, people are like, well, he hasn't, gone to a Super Bowl, AFC chip, or won a play. It's like, but the man is going to the playoffs. We would die for that. It's amazing points of view. We're in a very weird point of view here. How about this real quick before you? Have you ever known a time when, going back to the 90s and even early 2000s, another big difference is we didn't get rid of talent. We didn't just cut off talent. When we drafted talent, we tried to cultivate it. We tried to keep it here. Free agents, we actually brought in quality free agents. Xavier McKinney, a Saquon Barkley, even a Julian Love, those guys weren't even being allowed to leave back in the day.
Hold on, James. We have two special guests that want to come on. We have one special guest, my brother, all the way from Alaska. He's evidently in Alaska right now. My one brother and my other brother from another mother. Big Don in
Man, it's a little nippy out here. It's a little nippy. That's why the hair.
You look cold.
Here. I walked like outside and went to Best Buy, and it's 10.
That's a totally different cold, Tim. Texas cold is different, Tim. It was 20 degrees this morning. You act like
you're not in Alaska.
He looks cold.
It's cold, Tim.
Are you sure you're not in Alaska?
Tim, I see. Look, when I know it's cold. There are. What is his name? There was a point guard.
The one dude.
There was a point. No. There was a point guard that played for the Pacers, and he played for Kansas. Something Collins. He's from Anchorage, Alaska. I don't know why I know that information. Just random information.
The one black guy from Alaska.
It was the one black guy. I don't know why I know that information. But I heard a certain name, and I had to come on real quick.
Yannick.
I heard Coughlin.
When did we talk about Tom Coughlin?
I was like, Coughlin?
I heard Coughlin. I heard somebody mention. I heard Coughlin, and I came running when I heard that name.
I don't remember when saying it. I don't remember.
I said Jim Fossil.
You said Jim Fossil?
No. I heard Tom Coughlin. You know what that means, Tim?
Did your ears freeze?
No. You know what that means when I hear Tom Coughlin?
What do you hear?
Syracuse. 315, baby.
I knew that was coming.
Look,
This
and
is
plus I
gonna
told
be
you this
good.
before, Tim. This is what I told you before, Tim. Look, I already told you how to fix this whole mess with our drafting and everything. But for some reason, we went away from this tradition of having a Syracuse player on the team. Ever since we stopped doing that, it's been downhill, Tim. It's been downhill. Okay.
Where Micah wants to know, where are you in Alaska? I am in Alaska myself.
Yeah, well, apparently I'm in the part 6 months of daylight because really bright right now. Really bright.
He's what we like to refer to as Pussyville, USA, Alaska. It's 40-some degrees. I'm 40 degrees. I'm out here wearing shorts and a tank top.
Probably are wearing shorts. Crazy.
Well, to be fair, Tim. To be fair, Tim, I heard whores don't get cold, so.
Oh, that was a good one though.
So, but no, that was it. But for I'm just calling to say hello. That was it. And I finally I forgot, bro. I forgot to start the stream at 2 Central Time. I told myself, like, all right, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna get on there, and then it started really getting busy, and then it slowed down. I said, oh no, Tim's on. So I was like, I said I missed the good stuff.
At least you have your priorities, and I appreciate you always jumping on, brother. Stay safe. I can't believe I'm saying this to someone in Texas. Stay warm.
Yeah, you look cold, man. Stay warm, brother.
I am. I'm a little nippy out here. A little nippy. Y'all take it easy. I'm gonna keep listening in, and I'm gonna have you in my warm heart right here.
I appreciate it, brother, man. Thank you.
Y'all take it easy.
All right, man. Stay safe.
We got one more guest that wants to come in, and this is a special guest that we all know. This is a guest that we all love. This is a guest who has now been on the show more than once. You see him on Twitter. You know him on Twitter. You know him. You love him. Former New York Giant, great Carl Banks.
Love it. What's going on, Tim?
That was a great joke until Carl Banks actually showed up.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That was good. Lex.
What's going on, my friend?
Tell us
What's up, baby?
Tell us about this evil rebuild. This rebuild within a rebuild within a rebuild.
At this point, since we already know what the next 2 years are going to be, just let Mike Kafka just continue to coach for the next 2 years.
And an honest question for both of you. Can we really call this a rebuild again?
It's not a rebuild because they're not resetting anything.
But thank you. This is kind of the point where I'm at. There's no talent here. We went through the starting 22 yesterday. 2 players that could start on a top 5 playoff team that's in our starting lineup.
And the funny thing is, to start the summer, your list was bigger.
Yeah, I forgot about that. You're right. I mentioned that.
Yeah.
The rebuild is on schedule, according to Carl Banks.
Well, it depends on what schedule you have. If your schedule is shit town, then we're right on time.
Blackbird wants it. James, I got to talk to you about Josh Allen. What exactly was that throw? The real vanilla would have made that throw.
Yeah. Even greatness has its moments of loss and despair. Okay, he missed the throw. Coach had the guts to put the ball in his hand. That's what you want. White Vic just missed the throw. It's all right. You're getting ready for the playoff run. Stay tuned.
Buddy, I hate to say it, Buffalo ain't going on no playoff run.
Excuse me, sir? Lex?
Yes, you heard me.
Yeah, I don't see. I
don't
see Buffalo.
You know what? Guess what? That's exactly why they are going to do it.
The worst team in the AFC in the playoffs. That's what Tim thinks.
No, because there's only 7 teams right now that have clinched spots, so I have them at 7.
Okay, great.
Hey, listen, you want to trust Bo Nix? You go ahead.
Tim apparently does trust Bo Nix.
I actually, it's not just Bo Nix that it's okay. Good example. It reminds me of these Knicks now, these Knicks this year. The Knicks just throw guys out there that you would never have. Mike Brown had a lineup with Jalen Brunson and 4 other guys. And somehow they still came back from 14 down to win the game with Jalen Brunson and other. Denver is this team ever since that 33-point comeback win seems to be destined to maybe not win the Super Bowl, but at least go to a Super Bowl.
You know, the only problem with your analogy is you said Jalen Brunson and others. So it's Josh Allen and co. I get it. You still need Josh Allen to make it happen. And just last point, name me a quarterback that you would trust 2 minutes to go down by 5. You need a touchdown in the AFC other than Josh Allen. Seriously.
I was going to go Jackson Dart.
Yeah, I was going to go Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, but that's why I said AFC.
That's why he changed it. I'm not going to.
You said AFC, not maybe you meant to say NFC. But.
Yeah, maybe.
No, AFC.
Because
AFC. In the playoffs, obviously.
Malik Willis.
He's in the NFC.
Oh, in the AFC?
Yes, that's what I just said, Lex. AFC in the playoffs, other than White Vic.
Right.
Daniel Jones.
Bo Nix.
Daniel Jones. Bo Nix.
He's done
okay.
It.
He came back from 33 points.
Against the Giants? Come on. We're giving out game balls. We're going to give Bo Nix a game ball for beating the Giants. He's getting a Kafka game ball. There you go, Sonny.
We all got you know what's literally funny? I went to the mailbox today and opened it up. I had a game ball.
You get a game ball, Lex. It's like Oprah. He is the coach Oprah. He's giving out game balls.
Everyone gets a game ball.
Did you see that clip?
Trevor Lawrence.
Yes, Trevor
Lawrence.
Sunshine?
Right now I would wait the way Sunshine's playing right now. Yeah, I would
okay.
Go over Josh Allen.
We'll see. Okay. Old Al Bundy. They're not even making the playoffs.
Aaron, actually, they didn't win the game, but he gave them a shot to win the game. Aaron Rodgers.
I can't go CJ.
No way. You're not trusting Aaron Rodgers over Josh Allen. No way.
I didn't say Josh Allen. You just said a quarterback to bring you back within 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Right.
You didn't specify better than Josh Allen. No, there isn't a quarterback better than Josh Allen. But not always does the best quarterback go to the Super Bowl.
Blackbird, he just keeps bringing up. It's over, Blackbird. He's done. He had his time. He was 5-1. The plane came horribly crashing down. It was great. It was a nice ride, but it's over.
It's
so nice. Sorry.
Honeypot, how you doing, my brother? I haven't seen Honeypot in a while. How are the dogs? Honeypot's got these beautiful dogs. Make sure you
shout out to the dogs.
We only have 27 likes. What's fucking wrong with people?
It's depressing times.
Okay, I'm gonna help you.
Click it.
There's a button. Oh, thank you. There's a button. It's got it's like one of these. And all you have to do is click on it, and then you're done. Then you can go back to life. That's all you got to do.
You don't even have to miss a beat. Like, it's not even going to pause the video. Click it and keep hearing stuff.
I literally can't say anything because I have a second monitor up, and because I like to watch the channel just for feedback and everything else. And I didn't even hit the like button.
You didn't even hit the like button on your own channel?
Nope.
He didn't even support himself, Alex. Look at that.
I don't even support myself.
He didn't even support himself. He's toxic.
I understand he's in negotiations, but guess what? I don't think he's coming back after February.
Yeah, I had a long conversation last night with OGR about coming back and staying and going and doing other things, and gave him some inside information on everything that's going on. And I think OGR, what's your odds that I'm coming back?
After last night, my odds have gone up. 70-30. 70 you're leaving, 30 you're staying.
Okay. I like it. James, what are your odds?
So you're saying there's a chance?
Absolutely.
You're saying there's a chance.
You know what? I'm gonna ride those coattails. I'm going in on the pot. 70-30. That's what we're doing.
There's always a chance. You never know. like I say, someone asked me, and I felt bad about saying it, but then I've said no, I don't really feel bad about saying because it's me. Someone said to me, "Is there a financial price that you would have to stay?" And without blinking, without even missing a beat, I said yes.
Of course. That's why I love him. I swear.
They hit this number, you would stay. Like, yep. 100%.
It's no choice. Yes.
There wasn't even a number he had to hit. If the Giants would have done things differently,
then I would
still would have come back.
Then I would come back. But
That's not happening.
Someone asked me like a financial number that if you would do it. I'm like, yep. Wouldn't even think twice about it.
That's hilarious.
99% of gamblers quit right before they hit it big.
You gotta keep rolling.
Because they don't go on the mightyfanduel.com. The FanDuel.com, number one sports book in America. New customers bet $5 and win. Get $250 in bonus bets. Giants right now, 4. Explain to me this. Riddle me this, guys. Because this is a good riddle.
Oh.
The Giants are 4.5-point home dogs. And they've been a dog all season. Home dogs to the Dallas Cowboys. They were 5.5 yesterday. Dallas came out and said basically, I don't know if we're going to play everybody. But the line only shifted 1 point. Cowboys are bad. Giants are bad. How are the Giants at home after a big win? 4.5 point dogs.
Because the league knows that Dallas won't be tanking.
If I was Dallas, I would tank.
Why?
Why not?
What do you get? First of all, it's the Giants. You much rather just mush it in our face.
You lose to the Giants, you screw the Giants on their draft choice.
No, they're not thinking that deep.
I would.
But you know what's funny is Joe Schoen, if he does get the number 2 overall pick, everybody thinks that he's going to get a boatload. How much would make a bet his pick is Caleb Downs? Anybody want to wager me and money on that?
Oh, I can see that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Wait, but at what position? At what position in the draft?
And I'm telling you, number 2 overall pick. If
you are saying he is going to take with the number 2 overall pick, he is going up against of all conventional wisdom in reference to NFL history that says you don't take a safety, tight end, or defensive tackle in the top 10. You are saying he is going to throw after he got rid of Xavier McKinney, drafted Tyler Nubin, we also had Yusef Corker, had Dane Belton, went out and signed Holland, that he is going to go against all conventional NFL wisdom and take Downs at 2. OGR just left. He didn't even want to answer the fucking question.
Yo, you just running down that list kind of just reminded me, like, another bad thing with Shane is he keeps wasting assets at the same position. Like, you just like the defensive ends, safeties, wide, like he just keeps throwing assets at the same position and missing. Like, damn.
But OGR, you're telling me that after everything he's done, OGR I think he's having a little bit of internet. OGR, you still around? Oh yeah, OGR, hold on, he's got to come sign back in. Oh, there's 2 OGRs. Oh, there's OGR and OGR's evil twin, who I like to refer to as Black OGR.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Black OGR
at the wrong time.
That's Black OGR.
But,
we're gonna leave Black OGR here.
Yes, Joe Schoen would go against conventional wisdom and draft Caleb Downs number 2 overall.
Okay.
Did he want
He muted himself? Oh shit, I've never seen that.
You got this first now. I fucking quit. I want you guys beat my number.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
Everyone, I would like to introduce our new co-host, Black OG.
What is going on? We're stuck in the Matrix.
We're stuck in the Matrix because he wants to get rid of the other OGR. And he can't, I don't think.
No,
is your
I'm
evil twin.
I'm not going to get rid of that one. I love that one. That's my new favorite OGR. I'm going to call him. I'm going to call him tonight. I guess I do. But no, you can't. No.
I'm not telling.
He's a shiny piece, though.
Not even something.
He's a shiny piece. Shane likes shiny pieces, though.
Exactly.
Lex's point.
But it goes against all conventional wisdom. Kyle Hamilton went 14th overall. And even I thought that was a little too high for Kyle Hamilton for a safety. And he is having a very good season this year, his fourth year in. It took him 2 seasons. He played in 16 games, only started 4 his rookie season. He played all 53, but he had his first 100 tackle season. I don't remember how many last year, but this is the season now that he's finally excelling.
And don't forget, I mean,
wait, I'm not done yet. But wait, he's excelling this season. Why? Let me tell you why. Because Black OGR is a trend. But I'm going to tell you why. Because they are playing him as a quasi in the box safety, kind of like the Peppers Logan Ryan under Patrick Graham, where he's playing 80% of his snaps now in the box. He's not playing safety as he was. But he's now in the box, which makes him more able to make big plays. You take Caleb Downs. I will.
I mean, obviously you're right. I mean, Kyle Hamilton, he did start coming around a little bit last year, but obviously this year you're seeing the fruition of that. But, you can't do that.
Last year he had 107 tackles last year in 16 games.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying you started to see, him come around. But, and again, obviously, where I stand, my allegiance, but you can't take him at that position, obviously. But to Lex's point, and to what I said earlier, Shane doesn't do anything. If you put a dollar in front of him in the street, Shane's coming by as rich as he is. You go, oh, what's this? He's bending right down. He's picking that up. Like it's like the cartoon thing, like the carrot in front of the mule. Like he's not doing anything outside the box. It's like Kayvon and Neil, those weren't outside the box thinking. He didn't really go deep into that and see, is there a guy better than Kayvon? No, shiny pieces. Malik Neighbors, shiny pieces. He likes that. So it is unconventional, but it's possible. For him, it's possible.
Greg, I also heard that Kyle Pitts was different. And we kind of see how Kyle Pitts worked out. Sean Taylor, Greg, people forget, and everyone has this because of what happened to Sean Taylor. RIP. Everyone kind of has
RIP.
This. Sean Taylor was taken 5th overall. Sean Taylor did not become Sean Taylor until year 3, where he had 114 tackles. He had 2 seasons where he only averaged 70 tackles and 1 sack. So he was not Sean Taylor until 2006. And then he had the injury and then the robbery and passed away in 2007 where he was starting to have another season. But Sean Taylor, people remember Sean Taylor, especially in the East because of the big hits and everything against the Giants. Sean Taylor was not the safety thought he was going to be until about year 3. Just throwing out a little history there in reference to safeties. As a former safety, I can talk about this because safety gets drafted, you're like, fuck.
And that's totally fine. But when you take a player that high, you want them a la Kayvon and somebody to come in immediately and have immediate impact. You don't want it to take years to go. Like Carter, if he finally comes around in year 3, obviously we'll be happy. But you take a guy that high, it shouldn't take that long to see more.
He should production. Be immediate impact.
Yes.
Don't forget the like button. OGR with the $4.99 super channel. Super chats go to the Phillips Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. No clue what's going on with my internet. My apologies. Well, maybe I should give you the $4.99 back and you can spend it on your internet. Sorry.
Oh,
Sorry. That was mean. I'm sorry. Mr. Taz says, to be fair, Tim, well, in all fairness, Tim, defensive keeping Joe Shane and Howard Roseman went against conventional wisdom, taking Jalen Carter at 10.
Yeah, but that guy has a track record of making. Go ahead. Sorry, I just yeah.
I'm gonna let you take that one because he's
no. I don't even want. No, it's like no.
I want you to take it. And actually,
it's like saying, you know what it's like? It's like saying, well, Michael Jordan, he's missed all 20 shots, but you know what? He finally hit that last one, and we trusted him to make it. Yeah, it's Michael Jordan. And I'm not saying Howie Roseman is Michael Jordan of GMs, but the guy has a track record of making good decisions.
Now, Mr. Taz is an Eagle fan, and I love Mr. Taz. I love Trenton. I love Mr. Taz.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You are, Taz. You should know that, brother. You know that, brother. Howie's a genius.
This shows the stupidity of Eagle fans.
No, it's this thing they could have.
Wait, this shows the stupidity. No. Jalen Carter was taken 9th overall. He wasn't taken 10th.
He said, well, I mean, okay. you just, but Taz, you know, Howie Roseman is a mad genius. He's a mad genius.
Extend Joe.
Extend Joe. We are.
Here we go. Joe Shane through 2030. Minimum, please. And here he goes. I meant to say Jalen Carter at 9.
Yeah. Nah, we are keeping Joe, Taz, so don't worry.
And I'm going to tell you this now, and I've told people this rumor for a while. Someone tells me things, and everything that he's told me has always come true, that there is talk and speculation that they will extend Joe Shane 1
Damn
year.
your sources.
I know. It's almost as bad as the Mets.
Yo, stop.
They will extend Joe. I texted James this morning, and all I wrote back to him is, the Mets lost another player to the fucking Dodgers.
That's yo.
And I'm waiting, and then he texted me back going, because I guess you Googled it. He goes, who the fuck was it? Who is it? And I sent him back a meme that says, Mr. Met signs with the Dodgers, 4 years, $60 million.
I was actually mad for a second. I don't know. My brain almost computed that.
Nicki Minaj is back. I haven't seen Nicki Minaj in a long time.
What up?
That's what she said.
Oh my God, man.
It is. I don't know, man. I really don't know. The bag of money's got to get bigger and bigger every minute.
You know, I was thinking, I got it. Because I know we were talking about this other quarterback, but you know who Jackson Dart reminds me of? Eric Crouch.
No,
I
can't give.
I'm talking about the hype. No. The hype. No, you know what? Eric Crouch in college. I'm not talking about. Obviously, he didn't play in the pros, but Eric Crouch. No.
Eric Crouch came out of school and went to the Rams, and they tried to make him a safety.
Safety or wide receiver, something like that.
No, they tried to make him a safety, and I can't give you Eric Crouch. That is an insult to Jackson Dart. I can't do that.
Eric Crouch was pretty good in college, man. Led him to a national championship.
He ran. I'm not gonna say he ran a gimmick offense, but it's basically like running the fucking veer.
Well, I'm just saying, if you're not running a pro style in college, then it doesn't matter. Whatever works.
Yeah. I'm trying to think who reminds me of Jackson Dart.
I was just thinking about like the aura and the thing, like, oh, he's carrying the team and look at everything he's doing and he's running around. And, like Eric Crouch, y'all probably don't remember, but in college, he was nasty. Lost to Miami, I think, in the Natty. But, you know, Heisman Trophy, you know, I don't know, man. I watch him play and it's like, okay, if Jackson Dart was our backup, I would be excited. I'd be like, oh, great, that guy's amazing to have come off the bench. But to think about as a 10-year starter and a franchise, and like I said before, like it snowed here You know, I'm in New York. It's snowed here. You know, like, can Jackson Dart go out there and play in 2 inches, 2, 3? Is he going to make, you know, not saying a lot of people can, but what's he going to do when it's bad weather out there? In a game like poor Tommy DeVito had to play in when it's monsooning, what's he going to do? You know, I don't know.
I'm trying to think of who Jackson Dart reminds me of coming out of college.
I've been trying to think of it for weeks. You know this secretly. I can't find it.
Yeah, I am trying to rack my brain. I mean, could you say Jalen Hurts?
I was trying to think of that, but the problem is Jalen Hurts. Again, people just remember, oh, he got replaced by Tua. Yeah, he got replaced by Tua in the goddamn chip. Like he played at Alabama, which again, as good as Ole Miss is, that's not Alabama. You know, carried them to a chip. You know, like yes, Tua came in, relieved him, but he still, you know, got them there. Then went to Oklahoma, put up numbers. You know, so to me, he had put on a more impressive resume than Jackson Dart. You know, in college. You know, I guess that's up for debate, as most things are, but if you really look at it, like,
what was the kid with? I was just thinking about this. You know, he really reminds me of coming out of college, but not in regards to the prolific play in college, but the way he is in the pros right now, and the hype coming out of college. Johnny Manziel.
It definitely has similarities. Yeah. You know, it definitely has similarities.
Who was that kid in Colorado? Not Cordell Stewart. Who was the kid in Colorado not too many years ago? And he didn't do anything in the NFL. What's his name? And he was in Colorado. I cannot remember. Fucking saved my life for me. I cannot remember his name. Hagen. Was it Darian Hagen?
Oh wow, really? He must have really not did nothing. I would say.
This was years ago. But he was a scrambling quarterback. And honestly, if you think back a little bit, you could also even potentially say Vince Young. Not in regards to the accolades that he had in college, but the hype and all the crap that everything that he's going through now. I mean, I could go Vince Young.
Right. But even again with the Vince Young, at least he came off playing in a national championship.
I'm saying in regards to the talent coming out, not his pedigree, because Vince Young and all these other players to me were far ahead of Johnny Manziel, are far ahead of what Jackson Dart did in college. But I'm talking about the hype, the scrambling, the inability to throw the ball.
No, I'm with you, but the difference with the Manziel and the Young comparison, Young at least capped it off with, no, you're playing against USC with all those guys over there in the biggest game of the year, and you put on a godlike performance. Johnny Manziel is more similar because, yeah, you seem like you have an arm, you're running around, you seem exciting, you're making plays, but who are you? You did not do that on the level against the guys that Vince Young. That national championship game, Texas and USC, was an NFL game. Most of those guys went to the league.
It just, and this was a good one. Trevor Siemian. Rex Grossman, more mobile. Rex Grossman. I literally came up with a guy, and you're a Buffalo Bill fan. So I literally came up with a guy that taken in the similar spot, taken to be a similar savior, taken as
Peters, not Peters.
It's taken as a scrambling quarterback who has issues throwing. JP Lossman.
Oh, that's the guy. I thought you were going to say who's the other dude, the small dude from, was it Florida State?
Nathan Peterman.
Nathan Peterman, and then there was another kid. There was another young kid I think out of Florida State Buffalo took. It'll come to me in a second. But JP Lossman, yeah, I remember him.
EJ Manuel.
EJ Manuel, thank you. I thought you were going to say him. But JP Lossman, Yeah, it's funny you say Nathan Peterman, J.P. Lossman, E.J. Manuel. They definitely went through their little ring. But J.P. Lossman was a guy, yeah. Because I've actually followed Buffalo. Actually, since we beat them in that Super Bowl, in '90s, I always found it kind of heartbreaking that damn they went to 4 Super Bowls, including ours, and lost. So, but J.P. Lossman is definitely a guy. Even a Mitchell Trubisky. If you watch the way Dart plays, like I almost wish he played more like a Mitchell Trubisky. I hate to say it. If you remember Mitchell when he had that one good year on Chicago, like I almost wish he played more like that.
Threw for like 4,000 yards, 35 touchdowns, shit like that. Yeah. What's up,
You
my
know,
brother?
like
Gotta say hello. He says, "Wow, Tim is live." Philosopher says Jackson Dart is going to run in bad weather. Yeah, that's not going to work out well. Mr. Taz, Tim, I know the Giants lost number 1 pick. We still have a 33% chance. Would you have trusted old Joe Schoen to use it on him? Oh, no, of course not.
No.
No,
I wouldn't have trusted him to do anything smart with it. I'm glad we don't have it, to be honest, now that we know we're not taking Mendoza. I'm glad.
I could see it now.
With the first overall pick in the 2026 NFL draft, the New York Giants select Don Pablo Tacos.
That's what I hear Shane do.
Yeah, it's mind-boggling that so many across the Giants sphere, it's the pick, and we still have a chance to get it, and where we're gonna the draft seating. It doesn't matter as long as this guy is driving the car. It's like
reminds me of bat. No, I can't give you Baker bad one. No, Davey, I'm not continuing anything yet. There's talk and rumors and speculation by certain people that want to give me money that we might stay. And I love it because I love my wife. She's like, well, don't talk about the fact they want to give you money to stay. I'm like, I'm not gonna lie. I'm going to tell, if there's a reason to stay, I'm not going to be like, well, I had this change of heart and, I didn't want to leave this the wrong way. Nope.
Well, no. Well, you know what? If it makes the kids feel better, he's doing it for candy canes and sugar cookies. Okay.
Exactly. I'm doing it for the same reason that everyone gets up every morning in the day, 6 o'clock in the morning, and goes to their job, which they have to do because they're doing it for money. So I'm not gonna lie to you. Why else would I have ZipRecruiter and Believe and FanDuel?
That doesn't need to be. Well, I guess it needs to be stated, but that's for some people out there, like, what do you mean? No, he's doing all this for the love. I always talk about people accepting super chats and things such as that, and how I think that as a content creator, that if you're truly creating content for people, that you don't take super chats, and that's why we donate the super chats anytime we get them. At the end of each month, I write a check to the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, and I mail it in, or I go on their website, or I just go through it that way, and I just give whatever money I get from YouTube, and I give it to them. So, but I always say, if you're going to do this, you should do it not because you're trying to get money from people out of it, especially the people that are following you. Those are the people that you should take care of the most. So, I went a different route. I went, Mint Mobile, Southern New Hampshire University, FanDuel, ZipRecruiter. We went that route. So, you got to put some money back into the channel. So this is the way. And yeah, would I have missed it if I leave in February? Am I going to miss it? Sure. I'll miss the camaraderie. I'll miss the talking. I'll still talk to people like James and everything else, but like Jay Sports Cards and Davey and James Stein and and Greg. Well, I talked to Greg outside, but Mr. Taz and all in Green and Stud and all these other people. Yeah, I'll miss talking to everybody. But it's you got to do things for the right reason, and sometimes coming back, the right reason is because someone's thinks that you're worth an X amount to come back, and you go from there. That's life. Everyone knows that. We're all adults here. Are we?
No.
I'm a Toys R Us kid.
I was going to say, I'm not an adult. I have the body of a 50-year-old and the brain of a 10-year-old. So, I'm literally outside. Okay, this is a good example of my immaturity. Monitor breaks. I know I have a stream in 3 hours. It's 40 minutes to the nearest Best Buy. So I go to James. I got to go get a monitor because I do have 2 monitors. I got to go get a monitor. But what do? I still talk to James for about 25 minutes before I finally pull the black man and say, oh, fuck, I got to go. I got to go because I'm getting late. And then, I was on the wrong time. So I get the monitor. I come home and I got to lay it on the floor. It's like 40 minutes before the stream. And my son goes, hey, you want to go outside and play airsoft? And I'm like, what I should have said was no. I have to go downstairs and set up the monitor and get ready for the stream. What I said was, can I have the 1911? So we run outside and we go play airsoft for about 38 minutes. So now it's 4 minutes before the stream, and I'm rushing to get the damn monitor set up and get online. And then I finally said, and turn the camera on, and here we go. See, that was not mature. A mature man
Actually,
everything up.
No, we have to say this again. New Year's coming. We're going into 2026. That is actually quite the mature thing to do. Dad before trash. Giants are trash. So you got to be a dad before the trash. So no, you did the right thing. And because you're a handyman, you knew you could put the monitor together in 2.5 minutes. So you were fine.
I did. I didn't even instructions. The wife's like, "Do you need these?" I'm like, "Nope."
It's like instructions. What is that there? Oh no, that's not there for me. That's there for the other people.
Got out the Swiss Army knife on my keychain and just started putting shit together. I don't know if I'm a fan of the monitor though. I don't know. The last one I had was curved. This one's straight. I don't know. It's bigger though, so I can see because I'm blind.
Well, you got to get used to it.
Quincy Carter. No, I can't give you Quincy. I can't give you Quincy Carter.
He didn't have the height.
Quincy Carter, Romo. So I can't give you that. Treasure those moments, Tim. Kids don't always want to play with their parents. Actively be engaged with them. Oh, I always do that. I always actively engage with my kids because I always tell people I had kids so I could play with Legos. Because, when you're an adult and you go out and buy Legos and action figures and things, you're just weird. When you do it with a kid, you're a good dad.
It's like, oh, he's going to go play. Like, yes, this is for me and him. Sure. Yeah.
That's like the USS flag is still set up on the other side of the basement. Because, like I've said before, how else am I going to launch sorties and defeat Cobra if the flag is not up and running?
Well, in all fairness, G.I. Joe is more kind of our time.
Yeah,
in all fairness.
That's true. Donate. I love it, Funky. I love Big Don. This is a good one. Donating.
The OGR Wi-Fi. The fundraiser for OGR Wi-Fi. GoFundMe.
I got to give Big Don credit. I got a Big Don. Big Don, I got to give you credit. That was fucked up. But funny as shit. I'm going to say it right now. Anyone else wants to drop in a super chat? It will go directly to OGR's Wi-Fi.
You have OGR, those late night commercials. Help OGR out with his Wi-Fi. It's just black there now.
Oh my God. All right. It is 5:00. I'm tired. I don't want to do this no more.
When did the Knicks play again? Tomorrow?
Tomorrow. Knicks play tomorrow night, and then they play Friday. They play Atlanta. Then Saturday, they play Philadelphia.
Atlanta again. I'm telling you, before we go, Atlanta. I'm thinking. I told my boy, I said, Atlanta, I don't know what it is about Atlanta. They always play us tough. Trae Young did doo-doo in that game, and I'm telling you, Trae, I don't know what it is about Atlanta.
Well, there's already talk about Trae Young potentially being traded out of Atlanta.
Yeah, we don't want that.
I can see.
Worst case scenario is somehow Atlanta and Milwaukee pull off a trade, and he goes there for Dame, and that keeps Giannis in Milwaukee, and then you get Trae Young there in Milwaukee. That would kind of be bad. We got to win this chip this year.
Do you know Trae Young has been in the league for like 8 years?
Has it been 8? Yeah, you know what? It might be close to 8. He has been around.
He's been in 18.
Wow.
I know. Oh, wow. we got another super chat for OGR. small donation to give 1 megabit of Wi-Fi.
Every little bit helps.
We have to do a commercial now for OGR.
Every little bit helps.
We have to do
Bit.
it. I believe we have to do a commercial for OGR in reference to, getting him some Wi-Fi. Don't you think?
Oh, I just thought of a crazy joke, but I can't say it on the camera. I gotta wait till we get off.
Why can't you say it on the camera?
No. About who's cutting his Wi-Fi. He's been pissing off people, and now they tapped it from far over there. Cut his Wi-Fi.
Oh my God. Okay, before we leave, got it. This is gonna be before we leave. This is gonna be so wrong.
Oh no!
I'm gonna have to do this.
What are you about to do?
I'm gonna have to do this. Hold on.
Oh my God!
So wrong on so many different levels, but I have to do this. Hold on.
Oh no!
We have to get some music. We have to
put the kids away.
We have because you can't. You can't. Let's see. What about a piano? Is that too sad? Too sad, Jamie? Too sad? Or this. I think. Hold on. Time passes. Ooh, is that better?
Okay, that's a little better.
Okay, we'll go with
that.
A little better. Okay, here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready? Because we are going to do a commercial for OGR to help OGR out. We have to take the banner off for Mr. Taz in the Super Chat because that would just be wrong. But thank you. All Super Chats go to Philadelphia Children's Hospital. Here we go. I wish OGR was on, or maybe he is watching. But are we ready, folks? Are we ready? We need to have a moment for OGR. Do you remember when your Wi-Fi didn't work? When your download speeds didn't help their uploads? There's a time and place now to help. So let's all reach out and give a true understanding.
Oh no, you can't! Oh no! You can't have baby girl on it. You can't do it. You can't. You can't.
Wrong.
I hate those commercials, man. I hate those commercials, man. You can't do it, man. I hate those commercials, man.
So wrong. I told you it was going to be so wrong.
No, man. I hate those commercials when they come on, man. I hate those, man. It's like, why are you asking me for this? Ask Joe Shane. He could save everybody in Haiti by himself.
Why are you asking me for money?
Like, I hate those commercials. Joe Shane could solve everybody's problems by giving away his salary to all the poor people and quitting.
Ask me, feed the world. All right, guys, it's 5:08. The dogs are barking. I got to get the grill up and running because I'm doing cheesesteaks. I want to thank everyone who came on. I want to thank Big Don. I want to thank OGR. I want to thank King of the Almost donations. I want to thank everyone. Big Jane. And hopefully next stream, which will which is going to be Sunday, which will be our last Sunday live stream, potentially ever, because it's the last home game of the season. We're gonna, we're gonna have that. So make sure you stay tuned for that. I also want to thank the Believe Network, the Mighty FanDuel, and of course our new best friend, ZipRecruiter.com, ZipRecruiter.com/audio. Give it a try for free. This is James. This is for James. This is Tim. Appreciate
everybody. Come back Sunday.
Love, peace, and hair grease, and we're out of here.